What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. Look at us being so consistent.
So consistent.
On the Zoom, we on our Zoom.
Pat on the back.
But if you haven't went and watched our other video, Why Budgeting Matters, make sure that you go watch that video before you get into this one.
Yes.
So you want to tell them what today's video is going to be about?
Sure. So today in this video, we're going to be talking about 5 financial mistakes that families make and how to avoid them. I'm going to give you a cornball hat.
I'm making this entertaining. Don't click off.
All right, let's get into it.
So, the number one mistake, the reason why I told you to go watch the other video is not having a budget. A budget is going to help you allocate and get organized with the things that you need versus the things that you don't need. It's going to give you a good perspective over how much your income is per month and then also your expenses so that you can stay on track. And without a plan, it's easy to let money slip through the cracks.
Okay, the second mistake that a lot of people make is not having an emergency fund. I feel like this is not talked about enough, but it is very important to have at least 3 to 6 months of your monthly expenses saved just in case of an emergency. You can get in a car accident, you can lose your job. Like literally anything could happen, especially, look at the world. Anything could happen.
Yeah,
so you want to make sure that you're prepared with at least 3 to 6 months of an emergency fund that covers your monthly bills so that you're not out here struggling should an emergency happen.
And even just being more thorough with that, what does that look like? So this is an easy way for you to calculate that. You could just have an overall, once you write down all your expenses, say it comes out to $3,000 a month. All you have to do is calculate $3,000 times 3, the basic, that equals $9,000. So you want to at least have about $9,000 saved at the minimum because that is your 3-month emergency fund bucket. On average, the most Americans don't even have $1,000 saved. So if you want to start super small, to just have if something happens and you have a flat tire or something just comes up unexpectedly, you have that. But that's a great way to figure out where exactly you should be saving wise.
Yeah. The third mistake is living paycheck to paycheck. Now, I want to kind of dive into this a little bit because it's not the mistake of you just live paycheck to paycheck. It's not a mistake to necessarily live paycheck to paycheck, but it is a mistake to solely rely on that 1 or 2 paychecks you get per month.
Yeah, or just to assume
right.
Oh, I make $1,000 a week, so I can blow $1,000 a week because I know next week I'm gonna get another $1,000, and it's just YOLO out here.
Right.
Spend a check and get it right back type mindset.
Right.
No,
it should always be a goal of yours to, yes, have your job, have your paycheck, but also have something else that is bringing you some sort of income so that that's not your only source of income. And should that disappear one day, you're screwed.
Right. Or just having an emergency fund. A great way to do that is paying yourself first. When you get your check, put 10 to 20% away into the emergency fund, especially if you make a bigger surplus than what your expenses are, your actual need-based expenses. Put the money to the side.
Yeah.
So another mistake that a lot of people make is avoiding talking about retirement or not properly planning for retirement. So there's a lot of different ways in which you can do that. I know if you're probably in your mid 30s, early 30s, late 20s, whatever the case may have you, man, retirement is just so far away. I don't have to worry about that. I'm not going to get old for another 40 years. I got a little 40 years in me. I'm going to worry about that later. No, the sooner you start planning for retirement, the easier it will be. I talk to so many clients on a day-to-day basis, and they never tell me that they wish they wouldn't have started early. So it just gets harder as time progresses. So being able to put a little bit money to the side, even in your earlier years, is going to make the biggest difference in the long run.
Yeah.
Ways to actually plan for retirement is putting money into your 401k. A lot of people don't know what a 401k is used for or a 403b is used for, and I'm just going to break it down in simple terms. For example, typically a 401k or 403b is funded through your job. You want to put money in there because it's like leaving free money on the table. At the end of the day, if I gave you $100 or you gave me $100 and I said, okay, give me $100, and at the end of the month I'll give you another $100 on top of that, would you give me the $100? Exactly. So if your answer was yes to that question, that's exactly what your 401k is doing, because because typically employers give what's called a match. So I don't know exactly what your percentage is, but you can always talk to HR or whoever your employer benefit person is and get that information. But put something in there. If you can afford to match it at the highest percentage, do that. Now you're probably wondering like, okay, well, I'm putting all this money into it. What if I don't use it? You can always either roll your money over into a different 401k plan if you switch jobs, or if you decide to become an entrepreneur, you can also roll that money into what's called a Roth IRA. But if you need some help doing that, feel free to let me know. I'm going to put my information in the box below because I can actually assist with getting all of that done.
She's your girl. So the fifth mistake that I want to say even like American, I think this is really like an American problem, but it could be all over the world. I don't know. You let me know. Let us know in the comments. Yeah. But the fifth mistake is overspending on life upgrades. Oh my gosh, that gets people all the time. Yeah. Especially when people go from making a certain amount of money and now they're making another, like a higher amount of money. They feel like, oh, well, I'm making this amount of money. Now I have to upgrade my house. Now I have to upgrade my car. Now I have to upgrade everything. And you end up spending the same amount of money that you did when you were making less money. Yep. So you really don't see the difference in the increase in pay that you're getting. So it's really important to live below your means. You have nothing to prove to anyone. Yep, nobody actually cares about your new car or your new house.
They're gonna be impressed about it for a little second, then they're gonna go about their life.
Yes. So I would advise come up with you and your family's goals and what you want your future to look like, what you want your children's future to look like, and plan accordingly to that. And don't worry about trying to upgrade things to be flashy for anybody else. Because I'll tell you right now, lots of multimillionaires don't drive the nicest cars. They probably drive Hondas and Toyotas, and you would never know they're rich. But their future is set, and their children's future is set. Yep. So.
Yep. And I always tell my people, like, it's nothing wrong with liking nice things and being able to get and splurge every now and then, but make sure your basis is covered, right? You want to make sure your foundation is solid and you're not just building stuff on sand, right? Yeah. So overall, finding your financial success is a journey, right? As long as you properly plan for it, then you are definitely on the right track. There's nothing wrong with having questions, seeking advice from a professional, or anything of that sort, even doing your own research, right? I always telling people to fact check. But just making sure that you are on the right track and just trying to get the proper help and doing the things that you need to do in order to put yourself on the right path and your family on the right path, essentially. Yeah.
But yes, guys, thank you so much for tuning into this video. I hope that it was super, super helpful. I know when we were talking about these topics, I was like, this is going to help some people. Yeah. I know it. But let us know in the comments what your biggest takeaways were from this video, and we will see you in the next one.
See you next time. Peace.